First at 9.
A very good evening and welcome. This is News First Primetime News here on MTV Sports, coming to you live from the News First Center here in Colombo. I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. America marks 12 years since 9/11. On the News First International Desk tonight, we will have a recap of the events that unfolded 12 years ago.
But before that, let's take a look at the headlines tonight.
The headlines on News First at 9.
No one will be allowed to divide the nation, President reiterates in Vavuniya. The residents oppose the felling of trees close to the Kaudula Reservoir to minimize flooding. Paddy stores in Ampara under the purview of the Paddy Marketing Board not cleared on time. Farmers pay the brunt.
News First at 9.
On our top story tonight, President Mahinda Rajapaksa says that no one will be afforded an opportunity to divide the country.
The president made this comment at a public rally held in Vavuniya today.
According to the communique issued by the President's media unit, M. Uwais, who was to contest the Northern Provincial Council under the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress ticket, joined with the United People's Freedom Alliance. The same rights that were provided to the other provinces have been given to those living in this province as well. When you look at the election manifestos of some, it is evident that they are in dire need of the requests that were demanded 4 years ago. I have to clearly say that no one will be allowed to divide this country, not even Prabhakaran was able to do so. As a result of the war, the Muslim people had to leave this province with all that they could find. The Sinhalese were chased away. Leaders who respected democracy were murdered one by one. I will not allow history to repeat again.
The Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting is just 2 months away.
Now on the 21st of August, MTV MBC Network launched its official theme song for Chogum 2013. Now the second music video of the official theme song was launched this morning. The new music video of the official song for Chogum 2013 was launched on a live program telecast from the Stein Studios in Ratmalana. The lyrics of the song are by Sidney Chandrasekhara, while the song was composed by Sangeet Vikramasinghe. Chitral Somapala led the vocals for the song, accompanied by the Sirasa Superstars, Shakti Superstars and Voice Print.
දෙවෙනි අදියරේදී අපි ප්‍රතිනිර්මාණය කරලා තියෙනවා ගීතේ දර්ශන වෙනස් කරලා.
In the second phase, we reproduced the footage of the music video. We will bring in more changes to the song in October. There may be a change in the music. Children could sing the next version of the song. We are grateful to Minister Basil Rajapaksa, Dr. P.B. Jayasundara and the Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media, Charita Herath, for inviting us to produce a song on the motherland.
P.B. Jayasundara මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශ ලේකම්තුමාට චරිත හේරත් මාධ්‍ය ජනමාධ්‍ය අමාත්‍යාංශ ලේකම්තුමාට ශ්‍රී ලංකාව මගේ මව්බිමයි ශ්‍රී ලංකාව අපේ මව්රටයි රාජ්‍ය මණ්ඩලයේ සමුළුවක් උදෙසා. We wish to convey our gratitude on the creation and the contents of this song for the Commonwealth Summit. I felt that this song humbly conveys its affection towards the nation. Therefore, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
MTV MBC Madhya. I believe that this song created by the MTV MBC network for the Chogum Summit conveys a good message to the people.
As an artist, I am very proud about this song created for the Chogum Summit.
I am thankful that such a song was created.
Staying in news related to the Chogum, the Ministry of Education has decided to temporarily close down 31 schools in Colombo from the 6th of November to the 19th of November in view of the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting that will be held in Colombo. Now, following the announcement, Royal College, Ananda College, Nalanda College, Isipatana College, Mahanama College, Asoka Vidyalaya, Visakha College, Gotami Palika Vidyalaya, St. Paul's Vidyalaya, Sirmao Bandaranaike Vidyalaya and Ananda Girls School will also be closed in view of Chogum. The Ministry of Education said that alternative days for the school to compensate for those missed will be decided following discussions held with the relevant school principals.
Up next is Action TV.
The Ampara Galloya Left Bank Project Committee meeting, which takes decisions with regard to the paddy farming in the area, convened yesterday to reach a consensus on the activities that need to be carried out for the upcoming Maha season. During this meeting, the usual practice is to inform farmers about the procedures that will be adopted by the government to purchase paddy from them. Due to the above factor, it is imperative that a representative of the Paddy Marketing Board is present at the meeting in question. Steps were however taken to explain the reasons for non-participation of a member of the board. However, these visuals bear testament to the fact that the officers of the Paddy Marketing Board attached to the Ampara district were in no means busy as claimed not to attend the meeting. Incidentally, none of the warehouses belonging to the Paddy Marketing Board in the Ampara district were operational yesterday. Since all warehouses were in full capacity by the end of the last weekend, officials took measures to transport the paddy purchased on Monday to a location outside of the warehouses. Several lorries that were called in to transport the paddy were seen in the vicinity of the warehouses belonging to the Department of Food. Farmers queued up at the warehouses to sell their produce, which is their ultimate objective. The wait was over 24 hours. However, of the lorries that were parked in this manner, only 2 of them were utilized to transport paddy purchased from farmers who had been camped opposite the said warehouse for over a day. Only one paddy warehouse of the Paddy Marketing Board was open today for business. However, this warehouse too was full in capacity within a matter of 2 hours. The farmers who were enraged by their inability to sell their produce engaged in a protest by blocking the Uhuna Central Hills Road. A director attached to the Ministry of Cooperatives attempted to engage with the protesters and hold a discussion. However, his attempts proved futile as the protesters profusely rejected his request. The Paddy Marketing Board has so far not announced that they are facing a shortage of funds to procure the paddy. What is evident on the surface is that the board is experiencing an issue relating to the lack of storage space. The issue that had emerged is that the Paddy Marketing Board had not taken steps to free up space from their warehouses that were filled with paddy purchased from last season and during the Datakirula. If officials took steps to construct new warehouses in the Ampara district instead of taking steps to repaint warehouses in the view of the Datakirula exhibition, would truly have helped farmers ease their burden of going through trouble to sell their produce. Views expressed during the project committee meeting, which was conveniently missed by officials of the Paddy Marketing Board, note that even though officials hold such meetings to plan out activities during a particular season, officials themselves participate at these meetings without a proper plan. Secretary to the President, this is over to you.
With the ambition of finding money for a better tomorrow, individuals travel to the Middle East with a bundle of hopes, leaving behind their loved ones.
However, on some instances, only their memories remain. Now, this particular story is about a boy who is awaiting his mother's return, not knowing that she is in fact dead.
Bring her back to the country. I want to see my mother. I will be very grateful. She worked for 10 months, but she only received a salary for 5 months. I spoke to her on the 24th of May 2013, and I told her to obtain the remaining salary and come back home. I told her that with that money we will be able to repay the loan. I contacted her on the 29th, but this time it was another lady who answered the phone. I did not understand what she said, so I gave the phone to another person. She told me that she had been burnt. That was all the information we were given, and the line was disconnected. I was suspicious. So I spoke to her sister, who is also in Saudi Arabia, and told her that something might have happened to her. Her sister later told me that she had been hospitalized. On the 12th of June, I visited the Foreign Employment Bureau and urged them to find some information about my wife. On the 13th, I received a phone call from the Foreign Employment Bureau that Sepalika Sarojini had died from burn injuries. As I was suspicious over her death, I requested for a post-mortem. They said that it will take 2 months for it to be completed. It has been over 4 months since my wife passed away. My son is constantly asking for his mother. What am I to say? Sepalika's husband, who was persistent, sought the assistance of the president as well. We have taken measures to bring down her body soon. This matter was not set aside by the Foreign Employment Bureau or its officials. We will bring back the body after determining whether she died from burn injuries suffered by an accident or otherwise.
This is News First, Election Headquarters.
Welcome back to the news. Let's now take a look at some of the views expressed on the political front ahead of the upcoming provincial council polls.
Minister Johnny's son contests the elections in this province. He's a 22-year-old small child. I am 44 years of age. There is no reason for me to fight with him. He's like a brother to me. He is 22 and I am 44. He is still a kid. They call me a child and joke about it. Individuals who have a lot of experience are slinging mud only at me. They started off saying that I earn commissions by selling potatoes or onions. Then subsequently said that I am engaged in fried rice and alcohol dansals. And now they are talking about a telephone dansal. Usually dansals are organized in this country during the Vesak and Poson seasons. However, surprisingly, there are 5 to 6 main dansals in the Kurunegala district. Some have obtained 60 to 70 million rupees and are spending for the election. Why are they spending so much of money? Food for thought. Though the JVP speaks about Marxism, socialism and the elimination of the elite class, there is a dictatorship within the party structure. The Sirasa Media Network was burnt twice. Did they find the culprits? The office of the Irdina paper was burnt. Did they find the perpetrators? Bombs were hurled at the Siyat office. Did they find out who did it? 11 journalists including Lasantha Vikramatunga was murdered. Many journalists including Podal Jayanta were assaulted. Is the police not capable of finding who committed them?
Up next is a newspaper cartoon of the day.
During the second day of the general sessions of the 24th UNHRC Council sessions, views were expressed on the need for an international investigation into the human rights situation in Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka's intolerance of dissent and continued failure to ensure justice in even the most publicized cases illustrates that insufficient action is being taken to end impunity and protect human rights. Authorities have made scant progress in implementing promised reforms or ending impunity. Serious human rights violations remain ubiquitous in Sri Lanka. Officials continue to threaten and harass critics. We urge this Council to respond to the High Commissioner's concern. International investigation.
Meanwhile, addressing an interactive dialogue on children and the armed conflict, Sri Lanka Deputy Permanent Representative to the UN in Geneva, Manisha Gunasekara, shared these views.
As a country that has grappled with the menace of terrorism and forced conscription of thousands of children by the LTTE, Sri Lanka is acutely conscious of the grave psychosocial repercussions of armed conflict on children. The policy of the government in the reconciliation process was to treat all children formally associated with armed groups primarily as victims and not as offenders, and hence not to subject them to legal proceedings but to rehabilitation. We would be happy to share our experience and best practices on the subject.